Good morning. I been up most of the evening or night or whatever, reading over my script. You're the Church movie I'm in. I play Deacon Jones. Um, it's a number of lines here and there. I'm like Mo in Three Stooges, but I wanted to start off and share. I was talking to some of my crew yesterday, and we are talking about background, how you got started, talking about how, and so as a lot of you know, I taught seventh grade language arts for a number of years, social studies at first, but language arts, seventh grade, and just some of my students on my page. And uh, I never thought anything about acting. I thought you had to be really pretty. I thought you had to be white, light, really pretty, really, the types to be on TV and movies and all that shit like that. So I never thought anything about it. So one day out the blue, I got asked to be in a movie. Good morning, Valerie. I got asked to be in a movie. Valerie, I still have your book. I've got to meet you to give you your book. So, um, David Dimashlian, a lot of you may know from the movie Animals, Ant-Man, both Ant-Mans, Dark Knight, a few other movies. He's taken on The Flash. Um, he asked me, I got asked to be in a movie of his Animals. And, they were like, well, we want you to improv some lines. And I'm good on my feet or whatever because I've been a poet and performing. So I did that, and they wound up keeping the footage. And so a young lady on a film uh, who I worked with in the scene, she says, hey, have you worked Chicago Fire? Now, my knowledge of Chicago Fire was just, I thought it was a soccer team. I did, real shit. I thought it was a soccer team. I know it is a soccer team, but I thought it was a soccer team. So I was like, no, I never heard of that. And it already had a season there. And no, she gave me the info. She gave me the info, and I was like, okay. And I remember I put in my pictures on my phone. My phone was kind of crappy. At the time, and I put in the pictures, a few pictures. I didn't know about anything about taking pictures in light. I just took pictures of shit and submitted. And I was like, oh, I got booked for Chicago Fire episode. I was like, oh shit, this is pretty cool. I was excited. I'm thinking like, I ain't never done no background work before. I didn't know what that really was. I didn't even know the people in the background were background. I thought they caught people on the street doing shit like that. I didn't know they were paid people to do it. So I was like, okay, my first time, it was on Friday the 13th. And um, it's funny because I showed up. It was a 5:30 call time. I showed up, checked in, sat. We sat for the longest time. We sat, man. We sat in there, and they had sandwiches or some shit. It was this VFW place. They had sandwiches. I bought some tamales because I got hungry after a while. We were just sitting there. I didn't know how that shit worked. And I met some people. Hey, Cynthia. I met some. Hey, good morning, everybody tuning in. And I didn't even know. And I was like, oh shit. And we sat, and then finally at 10:30 we came out. It's dark, and this was at the old Lottie's place. We were outside there, and we were running. We had to run, and this dude fell, and he fell hard. And they asked him, hey, did you try to fall? And he was like, no. He said, you okay? He's like, yeah. He said he hit the shit hard. And so it was dark outside, so I didn't think they was gonna see me. Inside joke. I didn't think they was gonna see me, but I was so excited. I was telling people, man, wait till you see me on TV. Wait till you see me on TV. And people who cool with me at the time were looking for me on TV. And they kept showing the things, different things, and you couldn't see me. So I stopped telling people. I was like, I don't want to embarrass you. Because you never want to tell somebody some shit. And it's not true. So the next thing I did was the Chicago PD episode. And the funniest thing I learned about this is all these people, they see a number of faces. So if you think you remember you, they don't. What's up, Wade? They don't remember you. So I'm on the Chicago PD thing up north. I met Michael Hammond, big dude. I met him there. He was complaining and shit. He was funny as shit, but he was like, man, we ain't gonna get lunch. We ain't gonna get lunch. And we didn't get lunch. It was the wildest shit. He was like, we ain't gonna get lunch. We ain't gonna get lunch. And we didn't get lunch. I was like, I'm not sitting next to dude no more. He be predicting bad stuff. But we were walking back and forth on the train, and I was really concerned, like most people were. I said, man, am I gonna get seen? Because you want to be seen on TV. You ain't saying nothing, and you see the actors, and the actors are treated like fucking royalty, and you're like, oh, okay, wow. I wish I went to school for acting. Hey, Shakita. I wish I went to school for acting. I was saying this. I was like, damn, man. So then that first year, it was a bunch of shows. It was like Mind Games. It was like it was Fire, PD, Mind Games. Empire hadn't started yet. It was getting ready to film the pilot, and I didn't work on that. And then Crisis, Sirens. Some of y'all remember that boring ass show. It was a boring ass show on ABC. It starts with a B, not Beloved. I don't know. Wade, you probably remember that show, man. It was. The show. It was really all white, so I never really watched that shit. It was on ABC, but it just seemed boring, and it was a number of people on there. But I worked twice, and I saw myself on. I couldn't believe it. Somebody said, "Hey, I saw you," and I was like, "For real?" I never watched the show. I can't even. It's something with a B. It's something with a B-E. Beloved, but something. Anyway, total number of shows. So, like I said, I started to take better pictures, and I started losing weight. Cause I was bigger. I was much bigger. A lot of y'all don't know. In 2011, I was like close to 300 pounds. And it was like, I was just fat as shit. Oh my God, it's bad. And then, so I started to take better pictures. And yeah, bro, I can't remember the name. I could see some of the characters, but I can't remember the name. An intriguing show to work on was Crisis, man. Crisis seemed like, and I've never watched an episode. And I think I'm gonna get it on Amazon and watch it. It was really intense, and I got to play different stuff. I started to play different stuff, like before. You know, you're a pedestrian, you're walking and all that shit. That's cool. But then I started to get to play different stuff, and my first thing I ever played was a fireman on a show called Sirens. Sirens was funny as hell. It was only a couple seasons. And man, they called me. I was in the show with my mom, The Equalizer, watching The Equalizer, the first one. And they called me. Somebody from 4-Star called me. Said, hey, you've been chosen. You're going to be the only background on set. And I was like, oh, shit. And I've heard stories of when you're the only background, you get to say lines. They give you a line sometimes. I'm like, only background. I said, oh, okay. So they said, okay, this is the date, da-da-da-da. 5 minutes later, they called me again. They did get my wardrobe sizes and all that. I'm like, oh, Mom, this is really exciting. I went in for the fit, and I got to try on the fireman stuff. One of the coolest things about background has been the ability to be different people, different characters, I thought, for me. Meeting people and being different stuff. Fireman, policeman, doctor, orderly, I've been white shirt, milkman, all that different shit like that has been really exciting. So I'm a fireman. I'm on set, and then all of a sudden, we're in the thing. He says, hey, I want you to say something. I want you to react to the gunshots. And you'll see this episode 6 or 7 of season 2. I played the fireman, and it's a big python, and we're trying to stop this python. The python has gotten into the firehouse. So he says, hey, say something that you would say. So dude shoots at the python, and I say, oh, shit. And he said, yeah, keep saying that. And I'm like, oh. And so people are like, hey, man, you got to say something. And I was like, yeah. And then it's like, they said, dude, you're SAG. Now, when you first start out doing background and stuff like that, your goal, before you know better, your goal is to get SAG eligible, to get the thing to say, the thing, the Taft-Hartley to say you're SAG. And Taft-Hartley is a form that says you said something on a SAG production, you're eligible to join the Screen Actors Guild. SAG is, for those of you who don't know, Screen Actors Guild. And all of us, a lot of us, when we first started out, before we knew, and I got to give Donnie Williams a lot of credit for this right here, because he clued me in on it. There's him and a few other people, but Donnie was the one who told me, hey man, don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry to join SAG for several reasons. But he said, don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a rush. Shouts out to Donnie for that. But before I met him and knew that, the whole thing was, oh my God, you want to be SAG. 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 Betrayal. That was it, Valerie. Thank you. It was betrayal. It was boringish. Oh my God. It just had no, being on set with it had made me not want to watch it. So, yeah, those are good choices. I'm responding like they could actually hit me. So, they're like, oh my God, you're going to be SAG. You're going to be SAG. Now, me, I'm excited. I'm like, everything excites me. For those of y'all don't know, who don't, people know me know, everything excites me. Everything, I get jovial about stuff. Nothing is little to me. When I would get a booking, I was excited. This is before I started booking acting stuff, actual roles. I was excited. When they say, oh, you work a number of days, I was excited. They say you're going to be a police chief or whatever, excited. All that shit was exciting to me because I grew up a traditionalist. I went to college. I went to grad school. Got my degrees. I taught. I had a job. You know, I had a career. So this was exciting. So they're like, oh man. And I'm like, okay. And so they said to me, I remember calling, because I did the same thing for animals. And I remember calling and saying, hey, they said, well, if you say something on the show, did they give you a Taft-Hartley? I was like, no. They said, well, if you say something on the show, let us know and we'll go back behind it. The show comes on. The family and I were watching, and it comes to the point where I'm about to say my line. My mouth is open. You can go back and look at it. My mouth opens. I don't say shit. Nothing comes out. They didn't edit that out. You can see my mouth go, oh shit. Nothing. I was utterly disappointed because I was starting to. The thing about background, you work it long enough. And somebody like myself, and some of y'all can identify, somebody like me who wants to always be better, always do better. You start looking at the way they treat actors. You start seeing the way actors are treated in relation to background. You start seeing, as a black dude, some of the things you probably can overcome by being an actor. Some of the things, the undertones of racism that and somebody say, no, they treat all background. No, they don't. They don't. So you start saying, and I want to do that, but I'm not classically trained or nothing like that. I want to do that. And so that's when I think it began to see, whereas, how could I do something different? Let me start getting into something different. I wanted to start this series just to, as I have not done much background anymore, if any, and that's not to say I'm better than it or nothing. I would never say that, because I'm not the Southside Butcher. I'm not anything, Detective Smiley. I'm not any of these things without ever working background. I'm not in these plays. I'm not any of that without ever working background. As much as I may feel some things weren't handled correctly, if 4-Star, if Extraordinary Darlene Hunt, if my man John from Atmosphere, if Joan Philo, which was Tail Sticks and now New Deal, if I don't get on any of them shows, I don't get any of these experiences, I don't meet some of these people. And so my whole thing is, and as much as I may feel like, oh, okay, this ain't right, without those opportunities, I'm not this guy. I don't become this guy, this actor. So I'm grateful to those companies, those individuals, and the opportunities they gave me. Wasn't that really classy the way I said that? I didn't even write that down. I just thought of that on the fly, right? But the truth is the truth. You got to always keep it 100. So I'm going to be just sharing that's probably somebody in my crew, some of my experiences over the next few days. Just, give you some perspective. And just because I'm a storyteller, so I wanted to tell it. Thank you for tuning in. I'll probably give you something tomorrow. All right? Have a great day. Peace.